All right, man. Y'all got y'all mints. Y'all boy, Brad Holmes. Intrigued by different flavors of quarterbacks in the 2021 draft, reading from ESPN. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Michael Rothenstein wrote the article. It said Detroit Lions are switching quarterbacks for 2021, going from Matthew Stafford to Jared Goff, but it won't prelude them from taking the signal caller early in this year's 2020 draft. General Manager Brad Holmes, who is not yet allowed to discuss the Stafford Goff trade until it could become official when the new league year starts on March 17th, said Tuesday he likes what he sees from from this quarterback class. Quote, this quarterback class in general, what's cool about it this year is that they're in all different flavors. Holmes said, you have a guy that can actually do it all, do it from the pocket, do it with his legs, and you have another guy that probably a little bit more does it with his legs, a little bit more of being creative. There's another guy that's probably does it more from the pocket. So all these different flavors make it very, very intriguing in terms of when you're looking across the whole scope of the class of these quarterbacks. Holmes mentioned multiple times during Tuesday's news conference that he liked the draft class of quarterbacks, which headlined by Clemson's Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and BYU's Zach Wilson. And you're picking in the top, he said, you can't overlook any position. That includes the undergoing major changes for Detroit. Goff will have a salary cap hit of $28.15 million in 2021 and $26.15 million in 2022, according to OverTheCap.com. Of course, the Lions can create more space if they restructure Goff contract, which has a little bit over $25 million in base salary only once he's officially becomes a part of the franchise. But it's not known whether that they'll do it. Plus, Stafford's count will be $19 million in dead money over in the cap for the Lions this year. What does that have to do with drafting the quarterback number 7? It might depend on how the team views Goff in long term, something it hasn't been allowed publicly to address, and what it thinks about the quarterback class. Quote, when you're picking in the top 10, I don't think you can ignore, and I think it's smart drafting business anyways. When you're picking in the top 10, that you make sure you know what quarterback class is the quarterback class is very thorough, Holmes said. Holmes added that when you're picking in the top 10, you must know the top prospects, every position, because of the potential level of talent. He said, knows that the team needs to start in depth at multiple positions, some of which could be addressed at number 7. Quote, there are some pieces that we definitely need to add, Holmes said. We can start with the defensive side of the ball. We definitely need some depth. We need starters at certain places. So those are things that we're going through. On offense, Holmes says that he likes the Lions have the off. He's on offense. Holmes said he likes what the Lions have on the offensive line, but they need depth. The receiver room, whether they use the franchise tag on Gallaudet or not, needs to overhaul. All this does tie into a quarterback, leading to a multitude of decisions for Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell to make as they evaluate what they need to do in free agency and draft, starting with the number 7 pick. And when you do top 10, you're in there for a reason. A lot of times, you got to do with a quarterback. But, I thought they should take a quarterback. But I thought Goff was on the books for one more year. But I'm not sure. I have to relook. But, it is what it is. I don't believe in Jared Goff. You couldn't build around Stafford for 12 years. Obviously, Holmes and Campbell wasn't here. But we all got that SOL cloud hanging over our head. We all do, let's be honest. Some people be optimistic, and then everything the Lions do is positive, even if they know it's a negative. But I don't believe in Jared Goff. If Jared Goff couldn't do it in LA where he had top running backs, he had the top offensive mind, why would I believe that he'd get it done in Detroit? Honestly. Why would I believe he'd get it done with Quintez Cephas at receiver and probably, I don't believe in him, and we'll see. When he come here, we haven't been able to figure out how to run the ball consistently since Barry retired. So he operates at a high level when you're able to run the ball. It's just everybody talking about the defense, but offensively, How many games did offense truly win? You know, you can talk about the defense. The defense made plays. Honestly, they won a Chicago game. Them and Galley won the Arizona game. You know, playing that generic defense that generates no pressure. Offensively, when I look, the strength is even with Stafford here, the strength was the offensive line when healthy. You know, and what I would do is I would build around Goff. You know, I would, if I didn't want to take a quarterback, I would build around Goff. You know, the first pick, if I'm stick with Goff, I'm gonna take Devontae Smith. If I bring back Gallaudet or not, okay, we go into the free agent thing. We can get DeMarcus Robinson. The number one issue with this team is the lack of speed. So automatically, I'm coming with a healthy line. And, you know, when I'm thinking about how I would approach this draft, I'm not worried about the defense. Because the defense can be better with creativity. I'm not saying you bring everybody back. You bring Romeo, you bring Trey Flowers back, you bring Panini. Let's just say you bring everybody back, right? And you add 2 defensive tackles or something of that nature. I still think Tavai can be a good player if they allow him to play one position. I still think Jamie Collins could be a good player in a different defense. I think the cornerback position is fine. You got Okuda, you got Aurarie, still got Michael Ford. You know, you probably cut Coleman, Tracy Walker, Will Harrison. About I think under a different scheme with more creativity, I think they got pieces. The only thing I'm truly concerned about this year, honestly, is the interior lineman. I think if anything, we get interior lineman, we see how it go. Find the 2 best defense tackles you can in the offseason. And I think you got talent. You got Julian Nakora coming back. That's probably going to be edge rusher, defensive end. Defense ain't bad. It's just that they didn't have the signal caller that bring out the creativity. You look at the offense, you know, truly you got a great offensive line. Just like you got to add, I would add a more dominant right tackle that could run the block and have Crosby kind of be the utility guy. But the offensive line is pretty good. You know, if you ask me what I would go with, I would take Devontae Smith at 7. Okay. Second round, if I had to, I move up and take Najee Harris. That's what I would do. I would move up, take Najee Harris. If I couldn't get Najee Harris, I would stay there and take Sermon. You know, the dude from Ohio State. And from there, then I see what comes. If I could find a good linebacker that could really, you know, grow behind those linebackers that we got, if they bring Davis back, cool. You know, if I could find a defensive tackle that I really like, cool. If I could find an edge rusher that's really being slept on, cool. But I think building around Goff is important because even if Goff ain't the guy, you can draft the quarterback next year and the offense will be ready to go. So personally, I would go with Smith 1, and I would try to get a running back, one of those backs. If Harris and Sermon gone, look at some other guys. But that's important. You know, those are important to make sure Goff got everything. Defensively, you got talent. You know, if you can sign Leonard Williams, that'd be the one. That'd upgrade you right there. And then draft another tackle in the draft, and then you'll be ready to go. But yeah, defense got talent. They just don't have no creativity. You got Tavai playing multiple positions, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. You got too many positions that he playing, rushing off the edge. Let that joker play one position. I don't really think the defense that bad. Offensively, I think, you know, they got a complete offensive line. You're worried about receivers. You got a tight end. Just need a running back. That's how I would approach. Everybody talking about you need to draft defense. You need to draft defense. You got talent defensively. That's tied into a lot of money. Don't forget Tracy Walker, Jamie Collins. So the defense is not that bad. They just got to get a creative play caller. And people tend to forget the offense was the one that having the last 20 years put up touchdowns. They putting up field goals. And don't forget, you might have a different field goal cooker next year. So that's my whole thing about it. You know, if they go quarterback, cool. They can do whatever they want to. But me, what I've seen so far, people talking about Michael Parsons, that bitch can't cover. He can't cover a bid. I would take Devontae Smith. He is dangerous. He reminds me of Marvin Harrison. But, you know, it is what it is. I take the best player available. You know, but if you don't take quarterback. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All our social media links in the description. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Links in the description. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. You know what the business is. One time for the one time. Good Fella Sports TV. We go. More to Sports Talk. We go.